Hello guys, welcome back. The new series of the React.js. We are going to learn today the new feature that is called props. Props in React.js. We will be learning in two ways, using class component and using functional component. So first step is to understand the class component, how we are going to implement the props in class component. Okay, so even if you are the new to my channel, you can subscribe it. It will be helpful for you. And then we can you can keep on getting the video. Always I am creating the new awesome video using the new feature of the React. It will be helpful for you. And next thing, like while watching the video, you should not watch continuous all the video. You should keep a break in between, and while watching the video, let's implement on the system also. So that is a way to learn from the video. You play for the 10 minutes, implement in the system, again play for the 10 minutes, implement in the system. Just follow me. So it will be helpful for you, right? That will be give a complete meaningful. After watching the video, you will get some idea. Okay. So let's go ahead. This is my page. This is the demo page for you. In that you can see I'm displaying some product information, and this page is based on props. I have created one parent component and I have created one child component. From the parent component, I'm passing the data to child component. So in this video, you are going to learn two things together. Number one, component interaction as well as props. Component interaction, how it works, we are going to see. Again, next we are going to see props, how it is going to work. That also you are going to see. And another thing, major thing you will understand, reusability of the component. React is especially famous for that. Write once and use many times. Those three concepts will get clear together. What are those? Number one, props. Number two, component interaction. And number three, that is called component reusability, right? So let's go ahead, look into the code. I have made the some sample page for you, some sample product I have added for you. Just this is based on component interaction, component reusability, as well as you can say props, all three. So this is the final output. How it is happening, I'm going to write the code in front of you. I'll implement A to Z and I'll show you. So let's go to the code. First, I have created one component that is called item, and I have another component that is called item list. Based on these two pages, this data you are getting in the browser, and this output is coming in the browser. So let me go ahead and first delete all the content from both the pages. So this is my parent component. Just I'm deleting everything from here. Let me delete all. I deleted everything from here, and I have a child component that is called item list. Let me delete everything from here. Okay, so finally I deleted all the content from the parent component and all the content from child component. Assume like you are going to create one file item.js and you are going to create one more file item list.js. Two file you create in your src folder, right? So hope you are creating a file called item.js and you will create a file item list.js. Let me start from item.js file. It is going to work like a parent component. Okay, so guys, I have already added this page in my routing. So I'll come back here in my page and I'll start from here. This is my main component that is called item. So you will be creating how many files? Two files. One is called item.js and one more you will be creating item list.js. So let's start with the parent component that is item.js. I will write here. First, I should import the React. Import React. And guys, this video is based on class component. So let's enjoy this. After this, again, I'll create another component, that another example, another video based on function component. Component from React. This should be under the flower bracket. Let me increase the font size. It will be helpful for you. So the font size is increased now. Hope it will be visible properly. Let me write a class call my props. I'll give the class name because I have already added under my routing, so that I will give the same class name, my props, and I will be writing extends component class. After that, I will do at the same time export also, export default, and then my props. Right, so that's it. Till here is done. Now let me go here, and inside this, let me keep a render function, and since my project are based on the bootstrap, so I will be writing here the container class division. Class name is called container. Inside the container, empty3 I'll write. So from top side, I'll get some space. Now let's come inside. I'll go here, division, class name, row I'll follow, and I'll follow inside a division, class name, call hyphen, lg hyphen 12, text hyphen center I'll keep. So it will appear in the middle. And meanwhile, I will write here call h1. Inside I'll write just the heading call React JS props example using class component. Using class component. And let me keep this one as a text hyphen white. Right? So hope I have added, hope, right? It should come in the browser. Let me go ahead. See here, it's coming. React JS props example using class component. So first we need to understand is what is that props? What is that property? Props is nothing but you can say is a property. Look at here. I have created a division, and for that I written a class. Class name is called container. So container is our own class, or it may come from the bootstrap, wherever it is coming, leave that. Coming down, there is a class called row. There is again a class called row, right? So you can say this class is nothing but when I move my mouse here, it's saying called JSX attribute. So you can say attribute is nothing but the property. So you can say for this division, there is a property called class name, and for that there is a value called which one? Container. Let me come down below and create another row to explain you what is the main of the property props. Let me go here, class name equal to, again I'll follow a row, and inside this row I will be creating one division saying as a class name equal to call hyphen lg hyphen 4. Let me create the 4 itself. Inside this 4, let me give bg white, bg hyphen white. So this should be in white color. After that, let me write here a class called rounded also, so that it will give little rounded corner. Now here I am going to write a predefined property just to understand, yes, what is the meaning of property. Suppose I am creating one text box here, input type equal to text, and I will be writing here a property called value equal to my name, called SIYARAM CRM. Now when I run this page, you can see input is the name of the tag, type is the name of the property, text is the value. Again, value is the name of the property, whereas CRM is the value. When I run the page, what will happen? With the help of a predefined property, I given the value called CRM. Let me look into the browser. You can see here, it is displaying in the CRM. That meaning is what? The predefined was, property was predefined for the text box and you have given a value. Look at again, input type equal to text. So type is a property and text is a value. So this all we are talking about the predefined. Suppose image you have a property. So you will have idea image will have src, that is a property. 1.jpg is the value. Suppose if you have a button, button is the property. Button is the tag where type is the property, right? Let me write here. Suppose I am creating a button here. Button. Inside the button, I'll write here called type. What is the type? Type becomes a property, whereas submit becomes a predefined value. Similar way, when I go here and write here called max length becomes a property and 100 becomes a value, right? So this text box will not allow me to enter more than 100 character. Why? Because I limit it. And by default, what will present there? By default, it will display my name. That's called CRM. Let me go here. See, one button came here. In that I have not added anything. Let me click here, some text ABCD. I saved it. Look at here. It's coming like this, right? So you saw like there is a predefined property exist within the HTML tag. Now what is the mean of the props in the React? That is our main target, right? So let's go ahead. Let's understand that. React has given a very powerful feature that's called props. So what you are going to do, you are going to pass the data from one component to other component with the help of props. There how we are writing here class name is a predefined, but we can create our own property. We can create our own props. Okay, and there we can give our own value that we are going to learn. Okay, so let's go. So this page is just I created a static page and this page is loading here and hope you got some idea. Property meaning is what? Property means predefined property we have and we are going to create our own user defined property also, and under the React that is going to known as props. So now, as I told in the beginning, I will be covering three concepts together. Number one, component interaction. One component is going to pass the data to other component. Number two, component reusability. And number three, called props together. Okay. So let me go and create a child component. So I have already a child component here called item list. My parent is called, my parent component is called item, and I have created a child component that is called item list. Now let me go to the item list component and let's complete it. Then I'll come back. Let me write here import React, comma, component from React. Right. After that, let me come down below and I will write a class here. Class name I'll give called item list. Item list is the my class name. Now it has to be extended from same component class. Right. Coming down. First, let me export it because we are going to import this default item list. Right now, let me go here. And since in this we are going to receive the property from other component, so you must have to follow the constructors. Constructor I followed here, and inside the constructor I will receive that props. Or let me do first as a hard code example. Then after that I'll come down here, and inside I'll follow here called superclass. So, right. So this much is ready. Now let me go ahead and let me write the render function. This render function is going to return, this render function is going to return, since I told you I'm following the bootstrap here. So inside I have opened the row. Now I will be following here call lg3. division class name equal to call hyphen lg hyphen 3, call lg3 and mb2 I'll follow, so that little spacing will happen in the bottom. Let me come down below. I will write here a division class name equal to bg hyphen white. Why? Because my theme is blue color combination. Then I'll write here p3 padding 3, and then I'll apply call round it. Right? After that, let me write one product info. Suppose h4 I'm going to follow here. I'll write here call apple example. And let's see here for call lg3 I'll keep text center, so that all the content of this page will print in the center. Apple I given. Let me write one HR here, so that there will be some space in the bottom. Lining will come. Apple, after that I'll print one photo. IMG src equal to, guys, in my public folder I have put some photo. Example apple.js. Apple.js. Now, sorry, apple.jpg. JPG. After that, let me keep some height for this apple equal to 100 I have given. Now after that, let me come down, follow again one more HR, and I'll keep here call price. Price, or let me keep directly rupees 300, and then per kg. This is my component. I created one child component. Inside the child component, I added some data. Let me make this product name as a bold. Product name I kept in the bold, so it will come little bold text. I close here, and for this paragraph I'll apply a class called text hyphen danger, so that the product price will come in bold. Now let's look here. What I did, I created a static component as a child component. Inside I follow the constructor as of now. We will be using that. And then after that I follow the render function. Inside I follow the call lg3, and inside I apply some GUI, and I'm printing an apple. I'm printing call, you can say here, this one, I'm printing apple.jpg I'm calling, because in my public folder, I'll show you here. Let me look into my public folder. Here in my public folder, you can see here I have apple, banana, then mango, right, orange. Those kind of photo I have kept already in my public folder. So same way you can also keep the photos, and after that directly you can call here. Now let me go here, and I wrote a what, I printed the product name, I printed the product photo, I printed the product price as well. Now this component name is called item list. Now I'm going to call this component, and I'm going to reuse this first. First understand the reusability of the component. Let me come to the my item file. We'll import here as usual. Import component name is called item list from dot slash item list.js file. Right? So item list I imported here. Now let me show you component reusability meaning is what. You can see I created a component called item list. Inside what I did, I created one basic static call lg3, right? After that, this call lg3 is going to return by the render function. Wherever I will call this item list function, I will get the call lg3 as a return value. I'll come to my item. I imported here item list. After that, I have already opened another row. Inside, I'm going to call my component, that is called item list. Let me see here what is going to happen in the browser, right? So row is there. Inside the row, I call the item list. Let's look at here. Awesome. You can see one photo is coming here. Apple name, Apple photo plus price is how much? 300. Right. After that, you saw here one time we call this component, one time it's giving one details. Now let me call this component again. Correct. Let's look into the browser whether the same item is printing recalling or not. See, same apple is called 2 times. So you saw here one component we written 1 times and we are calling how many times? 2 times. That's called the component reusability. Let me come down, keep again, and let me keep down and keep again, right? Save it now. Now if I run my page, you can see the same product will get repeated how many times? 4 times. Awesome, right? Now next step is to make this product name, product price, and then photo as a dynamic. Correct? So for that we are going to learn the props now. Let's go here. So I will keep the first component, the item list. Inside the item list component, I will be passing here called name. Name equal to apple, right? So you saw here name is made by us. It is not predefined property, right? Let me keep here item name. You should not get confused. Item name is the property. There we are passing the value as apple. Let me go for the next. I'll write here called price equal to 200 per kg. Let me put the rupees in the beginning. So price become as another property. Correct? It's a user defined property. It is not predefined property. You saw we created a component called item list. There we are creating manually from our side a property called item name. And we are creating a property called item price. Let me go here. I'll keep here called pick equal to, as I told you in the public folder, I have put apple.jpg. So I'll pass here apple.jpg. Correct. Now let me do the same for other and I'll change the value of the my properties. I'll copy this and I will be calling here 2 times. Let me delete the remaining 2. I'll pass here call mango and I'll keep here 100 rupees and I'll keep here mango.jpg. Mango.jpg, right? After that, what we have to do? We made our component as a dynamic. We are going to reuse. That is here. You can see we are doing is a reuse. How many times we are calling? 2 times. But along with that, now we are passing the property also. So in item list component, we have to capture the property and we need to print the item name, and then price, and then pick. Let me go there under the item list. So where to capture now? Since it's the class component, so you have to put under the where constructor itself. I'll keep here called my props, or let me keep the variable called props itself, meaningful everywhere, and that you need to pass to the constructor as well, super function as well. PROPS, props. So look at guys here. You can see here in the previous component, main component that is called item, we are calling the item list and inside the item list we are passing 3 property. Item name, item price, item, and then you can say pick. So item name, price and pick, this becomes a property made by us. And this property is getting passed from the component, parent component to child component. Now you have to go under the child component. Under the child component, we created a variable that is called props. It will get captured here. And at this place now, you know very well how to print a value. So we have to follow this because it's the class component. This dot props you have to follow PRO props dot. What are the property you are passing from there? Item name. Correct. Now come down and print the price also. Here what property we are passing from there? We are passing just as a price. Correct. So photo still I have not changed. Let it be the same photo and check whether this is working or not. So you saw the flow from the parent component, you pass some data, as a list of the property that will get captured under the props variable, and from props variable we are printing here this dot props dot name, item name. So item name becomes a property. Okay, whereas you can say here price becomes a property that is getting passed from the parent component to child component. Now let's go to the browser and see happening or not. So mirror. Awesome. See, it's coming. One place apple, 200. Another place mango. How much? 100 rupees, right? But the photo is still we have not changed. Let's come back. Change the photo as well. Here is the photo. We can write here src equal to this dot props dot photo. Photo or pic. Let me see what we are passing from there. We are passing from here called pic. Pic is the property name. So you can call here called pic only. PIC. P I picked, right? So what we did now we made as a completely the child component also become dynamic, and parent component we are reusing the child component again and again. Let me see whether my photo is coming in the page or not. Awesome. You can see apple is coming and here mango is also coming, right? Let me go ahead and look into the item.js file. See here, I have called the item list 2 times. So 2 times product is coming. I have 4 product total. Let me keep it 4 times. 3. And I'll pass here called banana. And then I'll keep here somewhere 40 rupees kg. And I'll keep here BANA banana.jpg. And since now I'm calling the same component, how many times? 3 times. I'm reusing again and again and again. And I'm passing the different value for the same property. And this property is made by us. So that's called as a props. Look at the browser. See, apple is coming, mango is coming, banana is also coming, right? I have total 4 product. Let me pass here and see how it is happening. I have one more call, orange. Let's keep as a 400 rupees kg and then keep here call orange dot jpg, right? So total how many times I call? 4 times I call. Property is same but the values are different, right? Let's go to the browser. Awesome. See, it came as 4 times. Total 4 times I have called the component, 4 times it is coming. In case if we'll do the copy paste 10 times, it will come 10 times, right? So this example is based on what? Class component props using the class component. My next example will be based on hooks, props only, but based on hooks. That is called functional component. Now let's go ahead and then let's revise once what we did in this. So we have gone through first. I given some space here. Some space got applied now. So look at here. We created a component item list. Inside we follow the simple class. Inside we follow the constructor. Why we follow the constructor? Because in this component we are going to receive the data from somewhere else. So for that we created a variable called props. Whichever the data will come to this component, it will get captured under the props variable. Then below we created a call LG3. That meaning we are dividing the one row into 4 blocks, and then some internal CSS, some class I applied so that look and feel will get changed little. Then I am printing this dot props dot item name. So item name becomes a property. This dot props dot pick becomes a property. This dot props dot price becomes a property, and that is coming from where? From the parent component. Now let's go to the parent component. What we did in parent component, I imported the child component here. After that, I follow the render. I given some heading on the top. In the last here, I created a separate row. And what is my component name? Component name is called item list. That is called child component. Child component I called here, and I am creating a property called item name. Why? Because under the item list component, what I am printing here, we are printing called item name only. We are printing pic, we are printing as a photo. It's a user defined property. We can give anything. Okay. So whatever I am printing there, same property I am passing here, item name, item price, and pic, right? And you saw I called 4 times total. So how many times I am getting? I'm getting total how many times? 4 times, right? So this you can say this becomes a component reusability, as well as you got an idea on props also. Like, so we will be expecting your like, your comments, your subscription, and thanks for watching. Let's see you in the next video. Bye bye.